All right, so we got Cowboy here with us. What I want to do today is more, we're just going to test some things out. See what he's willing to work for, or see what he's not willing to work for. So you have your treats over here. Now, if you were to give him a treat and then take it back, what would you do?
I don't know. I've never tried that.
Never tried to take it back?
To take a treat, yeah. I know when he has food, if he's on his bed and he's got a cookie, he growls at me, he growls at Greg, and he growls at Greg.
Now, if you have a cookie or something in your hand, and you don't give it to him, does he just sit there and growl at you, or will he wait?
He just waits. He waits.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never tried to tease him with food.
Let me try and do this. So what we're going to be doing is working on something called impulse control, and what it does is it shows him that you have to turn away from your first impulse, right? So these are also how we do like leave it drills. So he knows what it is. I'll just do this and give him one. But he might just be too nervous around here to take it from me.
Yeah.
Right? See if he'll take it from me. Okay, good. So now what you'll do is you'll just hold it in your hand like this, and you're going to use your fingers as a blocking force, right? And you'll just hold it down to his nose, and then as soon as he turns away from it, whether it's like an accident or whether he just gets frustrated and like turns away, you're going to open and say yes. Okay? Because all we're saying is in order to get this thing, I want you to turn your head. Okay? So you see that frustration that's building in him? We're going to use that to our advantage. There.
Yes.
Right. So off of one iteration, he doesn't know, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing that over and over again.
Let me know when you want me to get, okay? She wants to watch it.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So another thing that I'll do is I'll delineate the tone that I use for that particular yes, so that way it's different than a conversational yes. Like every day when we're using conversational yes, I'm sure you've heard people who are like, oh, my dog understands English, right? And so they end up like spelling out treat. Or like, my dog needs the TREAT, right? And we're like, I promise you don't need to do that, right? All we have to do is vary the tone. So what I like to do is go ahead and stand up, and we'll take these smaller pieces. And this is just to make sure that he understands what yes means. Okay. What we'll do is we'll toss it on the ground. Here we go. And then have him walk by it. Don't just even see it. And when he goes for it, it's probably harder for him to see.
Yeah, you gotta use your nose, buddy.
Yep. So when he goes for it, he actually takes it. That's when you're gonna say yes.
Should I point it out to him? Or?
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
Good boy.
Yep. And then you just do it again, over and over and over again. And it's okay to, you can actually use your hand to drag it down here, but the idea is that his head is freely moving to get the treat.
Got it. Yes. Good dog.
Yep, and we'll just keep doing that over and over again. So that way when we put the treat back into his hand, when you say the word yes, he's actually looking for it. Right? He's like, oh, where's that, right?
Keeps them from being totally.
How about treats?
Yes.
Yes.
But he doesn't know. I think, well, the cat runs around too. The cat's not so bright to just
It's only a distraction.
Cowboy, he just kind of.
You're fine.
And that's fine. If we could actually even move to Dave's office so that it's a little bit quieter in there.
Okay.
And we'll take the video with us.
I know. Dear everything. Okay, thank you so much.
Hey guys. Yep. Cool. Oh, poor guy. Oh, buddy. Don't worry, I got it on camera. I'm going to report her. I see what happened.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Usually that only happens when it's dark.
Jeez, poor guy. Alright, here we go. So, yep, all we're going to be doing is we're just going to be tossing some treats and having his eye follow it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Should I not be petting him?
No, you can be, right? And this is the whole idea, is that when he finally sees it and goes for it, he's going to start looking for it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Now look at his engagement with you. He's like, oh, mom's over here. Here we go.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Yes.
Awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch it back. Now it's going to be in our hand.
Okay.
And now you see how he's doing that? That's what we want, right? Because now we have something that he actually wants.
Yes.
Perfect. Like that.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Good. So he actually turned around and was looking for it. That's what we want.
Yes. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So when you say yes, have him come back and find it. So don't,
Instead of putting it in
yeah.
front
So
of him.
instead of putting it in front of him,
Okay.
leave it off to the side because we want him to look for it.
Yes.
No, that was good because he was moving out of the way, right?
Yes. Yes. Murph would be all over these.
So now what we're going to do is we are going to we're going to start putting a word to the head turning away. When
Okay.
the head ducks, say leave it, yes,
Okay.
and have him look for it, right?
Okay. Leave it. Yes.
Perfect, good. So all we're doing is we're building in the word of his head turning.
Got it. Leave it. Yes.
Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Where
Okay.
he's not even where he's just waiting for it to open.
Leave it. Yes.
So now he's starting to get it. He's like, I don't have to turn away all the way. I just have to stop doing
Trying
that,
to get it.
trying to get it. As soon as I stop trying, mom opens her hand.
Leave it. Yes.
Perfect. Just a slight more time between the leave and the yes. So leave it. Yes.
Okay. Leave it. Yes. Too much, so.
No, you're fine.
Yes. Good
Good.
boy.
Awesome. So I mean, a couple things might be happening here. So we'll let him relax and go around. And
Okay.
So now we're good. So what we've just done in just a small amount of time is we're putting words to specific actions. That if I turn my head this way, or if I duck away from the treat that's in mom's hand, mom opens her hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting to get that the yes is connected somehow to this treat because he's actually turning around and trying to find it. Right?
Okay. I see
Um,
this.
So the next thing is preemptively doing the leave it,
Okay.
right? So leave it means when my head turns away, I get something better, right? Oh, hey, Dave. Hey, Cowboy. We got Cowboy in here.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Little doggy yoga.
no dog yoga.
All right. You take care, Christina.
Yep.
Okay.
Will do.
Whatever
Thank
it
you.
takes. Okay.
Appreciate it.
I may have forgot to say something to him.
Oh, okay.
It might have been the shiner box that I forgot. It might have been.
That's
I mean,
alright. Whatever.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I saw nothing.
Huh?
I saw nothing.
So like what I was saying was about what we're trying to do is we're trying to get him to get that motion really, really down. Leave it means turn away from that thing,
Okay.
right? So the easiest way to stop him from getting your clothing is to tell him to leave it, so to stop it before it starts.
Right.
That's only one connector,
Unless
right?
he attacks the laundry basket. while
Unless
I'm
he
not
attacks the
home.
laundry basket, right, when you're not home.
He's never done it since today.
Right. So, but so what we have to do is we have to understand that in order for us to get us back, there's a couple of things that have to happen first.
Okay.
One, he has to understand that it's something that he shouldn't do,
Okay.
right? And the way that we get him to do that is to show him there are things that when I say this thing, when I say this word, you need to turn your head away, right?
Okay.
And that's what this particular drill starts off with.
Okay.
And then what it evolves into is now I will start doing with open hand, and I go down to him, and when I say leave it, his head will duck to the side, even with my hand open, right?
Okay.
But you're also giving corrections, like if he's doing something where all of a sudden his hand is or his face is coming back down, you're gonna say you're going to give what's called a social correction.
Okay.
A social correction, instead of saying the word no, because he hasn't actually done anything wrong yet. He's thinking about it. He hasn't done anything wrong yet. We're gonna use those noises like or ha, just those
Okay.
grunts, right?
Yeah.
So or hey or something like that, right?
Okay.
He hasn't done anything wrong, but it's like hey, don't grab that,
Don't do
right?
it, yeah.
So those are where those noises come from.
Okay.
But if he actually takes it, or if he actually does something that we don't like, that's a hard no, and it's a little bit of a pop on his harness. Now it shouldn't hurt. What it does is we should be popping it to the point where he's like jostled, but we don't have to hurt him, because the whole point of correction is not to make him uncomfortable. It's it can be uncomfortable, but it's in order for him to actually fix the thing that he was doing.
Interrupt and redirect.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's more of an, that's a better way of putting it. It's more of an interruption,
Okay.
right? It's like, hey, stop that, right? But that stop that is a form of leadership.
Okay.
Right? So, and that's where all of this comes back into is, does he respect you enough that he will, one, turn away from the thing that he wants, two, if you have something of his, he's like, okay, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to get it back, or I'm going to get something of equal to or greater value than the thing I already have. The thing is, we have to find out what is that equal to or greater value, right?
Okay.
So if you were to pull this out right now, you're like the pants or whatever you brought with you, would he immediately go for it?
I don't know. He was interested in the car. Do we try or wait?
So we will try right now. We don't have to fix this right now,
Okay.
right? I just need to see what he does.
Drop it or?
Yeah, go ahead and drop it. And then you can go ahead and let go of the leash, because like he's going to be, we'll just let him be himself real quick. And all I'm trying to see is what the behaviors are, and we're not going to pressure him on it. I just need to see what it is that he's actually doing, right? So the next time you guys come back in, we can see if maybe we can set him up for success right here. That tends to.
He's like, what am I doing here?
So if you want to go ahead and take a seat over there,
Sure.
we can sit down and talk, just so that way he can. It just gives him a little bit of time to relax and understand that. Do you mind if I put these clothes on?
No, please.
Okay.
Please.
Put this-
We're ready, ready.
Put those over there, and we'll just let him do his thing.
So usually he does it when I'm not around,
Uh-huh.
and then I come home and it's in his bed,
Oh, okay.
and he's curled up on top of it.
Oh, okay.
And if you do get him distracted to go away, if he sees you going over there, he will then run over there and dive on it and then snarl.
So the next time, another thing that we could do next time is we can put his bed in here.
Okay.
And then when you first come, drop him off, we'll put a pile of clothes over here. We'll put the bed over here. I'll leave my phone in here, and I will FaceTime myself to the front and see what he's doing. Right. So I can come outside. I can see if he is, if he jumps on the bed, if he's guarding, and then we can take it from there.
Okay.
Now, a couple of things that we can do in the house, obviously, that I think you guys are doing is just, we live life and sometimes it doesn't happen, but just make sure that he's not able to get to it, right?
But like I said, I've been really good about making sure it's in the laundry, and I bought a taller one, and it's got like something on it. And
still got it.
He's still like, it's the first time I've seen where he's actually knocked over the laundry basket.
In order,
and luckily, I've trained myself when I walk in from coming home. First thing I do is he's got 2 beds he goes to. One is a gray pillow over in the family room, and then there's just like a cream square one right by the front door.
Right.
And so that's usually where he's been bringing stuff.
Now,
that's his spot.
Now, does he ever bring anything else besides that over?
He'll bring a cookie. If he gets a cookie, he'll go and sit on one of the many beds. But that seems to be the beds that he guards clothes on is either the one right in the front room or the one in the living room, the gray one. But 9 times out of 10, it's been the whitening, and it's kind of where he likes to lay during the day.
Okay. So we will. So that's another thing that what we want to see is like what exactly is going on with that. So we might even bring a cookie, right? Because it sounds like he doesn't eat them immediately.
No, he usually will hang on to it for a while. The other ones eat theirs, and then the rest of them stand around him, and then he just growls at them while he looks at them.
So the next time when we come back in here, the game plan is to put the bed right here.
Okay.
We'll put a cookie right here in the middle of the floor. We'll put some of the laundry over here. And we'll go outside and we'll wait for about 5 to 10 minutes to see what he does.
Okay.
So that way, when I can come back in and we can do that. Another thing that we could do is, if you would like, we could set up a time for like a web thing, because some of those things only happen in the home.
Right.
Right. So it's like, okay, so I see him. He has this in the corner. I'll send you a video of what he does, so like you can send me a video beforehand, and then we can discuss it and try and set it up in your house when the next time that he does it.
Okay, so the next time he does get a piece of clothing and is guarding it on his bed or whatnot.
Okay, so now he's going down into this. Okay. So do you think if you were to go walk up to it right now, do you think he might get a little bit snippy? Okay.
I think the environment might be throwing him off a little bit, but I think it's quite possible if I walk over there I could at least get a growl.
Okay, so you don't have to reach all the way down, but just see what he does. If he gets a little bit lippy, we'll be fine.
Hi.
There you go.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is with this so you see how he's guarding out of this?
Yep.
Come on. This way. Good boy. Leave it. Leave it. It's okay. This way. This way. Here we go. Yes. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Cowboy's a good boy. Good boy. Cowboy. Good boy. Good. Leave it. Yes. Cowboy. Yes. Good boy. So he for some reason he thinks he's not going to get that resource back, right? So let's go ahead and put him back over here, and we'll have him do his thing, right? So right now, if I were to approach him, he would do the exact same thing. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he never has an issue with Greg unless Greg is trying to get one of my pieces of clothing back. And Greg thinks it's his shirts too, but it's always the shirts I've worn as a night shirt.
Okay, so yeah, all right.
I don't want to like break it to him. But
I'm sorry, no, it's me.
It's still me.
It's just me. All right, so right here, he's even like starting to posture up a little bit around this particular thing. But let's see if he will come to me without me having to pull him with.
Okay.
Cowboy. Good boy. So let's have him settle. We'll have him. Yes. Good boy. So I'll have him settle back over here. I'll bring him back over to it. Good boy, Cowboy. Come on. There you go. And I'll let him get
Comfy,
comfortable
yeah.
in here.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and hang out there, buddy. And it's also another thing that might also turn it up is because I presume the other dogs are in the house as well,
Correct.
right? So he's afraid that if he goes, not only will you and I get it,
With
but
one of the other dogs.
okay. So you see how he's sitting on that right there?
Mhm.
Cowboy, come on, buddy. Let's go. Yes, good boy. Yeah, good boy. So that would also be another way where we would be able to get out of that particular situation.
Okay, so next time let's do it where you're trying to call him off, but he still sees me going to Greg. Because this is what Greg and I tried to do. And so one of us tries to distract, the other tries to go for it. And in the house, he will realize what's going on, and he just and like comes flying.
So because what happens is the communication to him is I'm trying to trick you, right? I'm trying to get this back. I'm trying to get this away, and so he's actually right. I'm not going to get this resource back.
Okay.
Mom and dad are going to take it away from me. So what we want to do is we want to put him into a point where we can put his harness back on, right? So let's let him walk around in the room with his harness,
Okay.
and then we come in, we see him laying on top of something.
Okay.
And we will have the leash 10, 20 feet away, wherever it's at, and then we'll call him to us. Cowboy. Oh, who's that good boy? Yes, good boy. Who's that good boy? And at this point, this is where we would leash him up.
Okay.
Right? Good boy,
I get it.
Cowboy.
So his harness is on him. Get him away from the clothes. Reward
And
him
then
and harness him.
actually clip it, right?
Okay.
So, because that's actually what we want to do. Here we go. Yes, good boy. Hey, Cowboy. 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 Hey, buddy. Okay. He's like, something's going on here, right? But he's expecting you to go up and see, because what he's doing is he's protecting his own
Heart
his
leash.
own leash, right? So now what we do is we have it in our hand, and we've had it. We're like, okay, good boy, come on. And we've also been practicing these leave it drills. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk by him. Leave it, buddy. Come on, let's go. Leave it.
Good boy.
Leave it. And we're walking by it and we're showing him, hey, look, it's still there, right? It's still there. I'm going to pick it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you leave it. Good boy. And then you're going to give him a treat. Yes. Right by it. But you are also going to have control of this, where you have it out here and he's out over here. So if I go back and I pick it up,
He can't lunge.
I'm very deliberate about holding it right now. And he now knows that this is mine. Because
Okay.
now I'm holding it together right here, and he's like, oh, okay. So, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk together to the hamper, and we're gonna put it inside,
Okay.
right? Because he's actually correct. Go ahead, buddy, go ahead. He's actually correct. We've been tricking him this whole time, trying to get away from him. When I go back, the resource isn't there. What happened to it, right?
Right.
Mom and dad are actually trying to get the resource,
And
right?
then I'm breaking his trust.
Yeah, you're breaking that
Okay.
trust up a little
Okay.
bit. Now, this is how we started off, and this is how we get the growls not to happen. That doesn't necessarily mean that after about a month of this, I can just start picking up clothes, right?
Right.
This is just so that way he understands the transition where you don't get any like negative feedback from him,
Okay.
right? So it's not necessarily that it's leading to the point where we can start taking these clothes. You might eventually get there. I mean, he's kind of set in his ways, right? He's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Had he been a little bit younger and we started this a little bit earlier, probably would get to a point where you could start picking up his clothes.
Okay.
But since he is older, instead of coming from a point of here, you need to learn this, it's just more of a point of understanding where it's like, look, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab this, we're going to
Put
go
it back in the
together.
hamper.
You're going to see where this goes. We're not hiding it from you, right? It's
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
It's very
so
deliberate.
This is where we're putting it. So
Yep.
here it is. It's going in the hamper.
Exactly, and it's going to stay in the hamper, right?
Okay.
And the fact that I walked you by over here and you saw where it was, and I told you to leave it, and I came back and I gave you something over here. That's where the match is, right? Where it's like, okay, you get something good, I'm still going to pick this up.
Right.
We're going to take it away, but you're seeing that I'm not stealing it from you. You're saying we're putting it all the way back into the hamper.
Where you stole it from me.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So there's a whole bunch of steps in there.
Okay.
But the idea is that we are trying to get him to the point where there's less conflict in the home.
Okay.
And this is how that conflict, this is how we're able to do that conflict without actually traumatizing him or getting to him to where he thinks that he has to be growling at us the whole time, right?
Okay.
Because it's a negative thing for him. I have comfort, I have this thing that I like, I can smell mom on it, and it's nice and comfy, right? And every time I go over there, they keep taking away from me, right? So we want to show him, one, why we're taking away from him, two, where it actually goes. This isn't going anywhere crazy, right? We're just putting it back into the thing where it originally was.
And I get that dogs like something that smells like their owners, and I mean, I wish there was somewhere like just where he wouldn't feel like I'd let him keep it if he didn't turn into this maniac dog.
Because now he's in possession mode, right? So let's see if you can call him off of it, and go ahead. But you're gonna want to be a little bit further out, right? Oh, look, he just came up to you. Yep. And then you'll go ahead and you'll grab the, yep, just like that.
Good boy.
And then if he goes down, remember we haven't been, but you will be practicing those leave it drills. We're just
So
gonna walk right by
it
him and just tell him leave it and walk like 2 or 3 feet past it.
Leave it. Leave it. Come on.
There you go. And
Come
just
on.
keep walking.
Good boy. That's a good boy.
Yep.
That's a good boy.
So do you see how he goes
Leave
down?
it. Leave it. Leave it. Come on.
Good.
Leave it. Good. Yes.
Perfect.
Good boy.
So on this one, now this is where you're going to get into when you're in a defensive position with your leash, so he can't lunge or jump at you. And the idea is if you can, you're going to want to keep your hand in like a happy medium kind of place, because if you induce pressure on there, it's going to make him more reactive.
Okay.
So if he leans down on his own and that's what's causing the pressure, that's fine.
Okay.
But if we're just standing still and he's not leaning, we want to keep it loose. So
Okay.
you're kind of playing this weird game.
Okay, so
right?
it's loose unless he tries to go down.
Unless he tries to go down, because that's where presumably where your head's going to be, right?
Okay. Leave it. Good boy.
Give him some love for that.
Good boy.
All right, and then we'll go back and then just go and pick it up. Good. Perfect.
Good boy.
Yep. And then go ahead and toss the clothes up here,
Up
because
on top?
because he's still looking at it, right? What I meant was walk over and put it over here. Because what we're doing is we're trying to do deliberate
Okay,
movement,
sorry.
right? Yep. Because so you see how he sees it,
Right here. Right here.
right? And now we're gonna take him away from it,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna give him a lot of love.
Good boy. Hey, good boy.
And I realize that's a lot to get the dog into the hamper, but the thing is, it took years for him to get to this point, right? And it took years of being ensconced in that behavior.
Yeah, and I have no
Right.
idea. Like, I don't know what happened to him in the last for 7 months.
Exactly.
So.
So all we're doing is we're just letting him know, hey, it's okay. You can go buy this. It doesn't have to be a traumatic experience for this to happen. So, and you want to do it where it's easy enough for if you were by yourself at the house to do it by yourself, right?
Okay.
So that's the way I would do it. I would put some of the stuff. I would just make sure that I'm preemptively putting the leash in a spot where I know
Okay. And then
I
he's got
can
his
find
harness
it.
on. And...
Yep, it's got his harness on and he
Okay.
goes out. And after and at night, because when you come home, you obviously know where all the laundry's at,
Right.
So then you can take him out of his harness because
Okay.
presumably
He hasn't gotten anything.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the only time we would put it back on is right before we bring out the cookies,
Okay.
right? So when we know we're going to bring out the cookies again, clip them up.
Okay.
Go ahead and let him do his thing with this cookie. Let him go into a spot with this cookie, and he should be fine, right? But let's say you need to get past somewhere, right? Let's say he goes with this cookie in front of the door, and now he thinks you're coming for the cookie, right? It's going to be the same exact thing. You're going to call him to a point in the house, right? You're going to do the same thing, the whole leave it thing, and then you'll go back up, you'll pick up the cookie, and you'll take him to a different spot in the house, and you can put the cookie there, and he can have it there,
Right. Okay.
right? And then he can do whatever he wants over there.
Okay.
It's just we need to get in front of that door, so.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, he will go to one of 3 dog beds when he has a cookie,
Okay.
and he stays out of the way. But he does still growl at me and the other dogs if we don't let him. So
Okay.
we'll work with that one, and then we'll do the door threshold exercises and and see how that works with you.
Yeah, bleed.
Come on.
So you don't have anything
Oh,
on.
I know. I have lots of love though. Lots and lots of love.
So that's so pretty much it's that over and over and over again,
Okay.
right? So repetition after repetition after repetition. The more time you can spend doing stuff like that, the easier it is for him to grasp the concept.
Okay.
Right? It's less about him learning a thing and more about him grasping a specific concept.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank
I think
you
he's
so
good to go. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep. And then I'll go ahead and I will send that to you.
Okay.